Yeah, so friends, let's talk about the props in React.js. Props is very interesting and very important terminology in the React.js world actually. Whenever you want to pass a data, as you know, everything is a component based. Okay, component 1, component 2, component 3, whatever. And you need to pass data between the components. This is the important things actually I am telling you. Let's say user is logged in, so there is a component called as user login. You need to pass the data to some other like my profile or somewhere, or user login, user register, user reset password, or whatever components are there. So we send the data through various techniques like props and state and context API and every other thing. But this props is one of the very important thing. Like it saves time, and it's very simple to implement actually. So whenever you send the props, so from the source component you send the props, it will be a parent component, and the receiver is the child component. This is the thing you need to understand. So the parent component is the one who is sending the data, and the child component is the one who is receiving the data from the parent component. Okay, so it's a short form for our property. So we can say properties also, whatever properties, and these properties can be anything. It can be variable, it can be function name, it can be a function call, it can be object or array, whatever you want to send. So it's you can control the behavior of a parent component or the child component using the props. So what that mean is, like, let's say you want to show dark or light theme, so you can pass a theme equal to dark from some places, so you can show dark theme on that page, and you can send theme equal to light from some pages, and you can show the light theme from that component accordingly. So this is what I wanted to say. You can control the behavior also actually. So here you see it's very simple implementation. If you see, the top 4 lines are actually parent component. These are the separate. You can consider these as the separate files, maybe written in the separate files. So parent component is trying to pass name property. You see this one, name property, to the this is the name. Parent component is trying to pass this name property to the child component here, right? So child component is receiving props in this format. There are two different formats in which system can receive, the child component can receive. One is the complete object, and another is the destructured particular variable also, like in the curly brace, props dot name. This is also possible. But if you receive like this, so you need to write like this, like props dot name, because you have received the complete object, JSON object. Okay, so here you see name equal to John Doe is passed from parent component, this is the parent component, to child component, this one. And name property, see, we can send so many props also. This I am just showing you only one, okay, but there can be multiple. So here props is received and displayed, hello props name, but where it generated, you see it generated on the parent component, right, and displaying in the child component. So this is what the props is. And you can send variables, you can send literals, you can send the functions, and you can call it from child component also. It's called as event emitting. I will show you that also, what is event emitting and how to pass data from child to parent back. Right now what I'm showing is sending data from parent to child, from top to bottom. Okay, so yeah, so now this is you can send the data dynamically also, as I showed in the last slide. You can show the data in a dynamic way or the static way. Static means what? Directly you can pass any value or any variable or any name, like name equal to Sam, name equal to TechySam, whatever. So that is called as static data passing. And dynamic data passing means, which I have shown you here, like I have send in this. Now the name value can be anything. You can implement some change also, like taking value from the text box and sending that dynamically. In the parent component, you are asking user to enter your name and then passing that value to child component. This is called as dynamic data passing. Okay, so whenever you update the prop value from the parent. This is very important stuff I am telling you. Whenever you update the prop value in the parent component, your child component will re-render with the new prop values. This is very important to understand because it's a toll which child component has to pay whenever there is a change in the props or any value from the properties which is being sent from parent component. So this is the drawback of sending props and prop drilling. I will tell you about the prop drilling also. But you need to be very cautious about this because re-rendering is a costly affair for React.js. It has to again check every HTML, everything, like if there is any change, and accordingly it has to maintain the virtual DOM. Okay, so I always understand you need to avoid the re-renders unnecessarily if really data is not changed, like okay. But what there are some techniques also. I will tell you that about use memo and react.memo also. There are some memoization techniques which we need to follow. Okay, so this is the dynamic. I have told you before 1 minute that we can pass the dynamic value. So you can see here the name value, whatever is the name value, it will be sent to the child component actually from the parent component. So you can take this value, this name variable from the any text box also, so that it will be handled from the child component. Now there is one technique wherein you can also send the default props property. Let's say nothing is sent, like in the